Good afternoon. I'd like to call this special City Commission meeting for this, the 22nd of October, 2024. Could I have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Dollison.
Here.
Commissioner Mercer.
Here.
Commissioner Dantzler.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yates.
Here.
And Mayor Birdsong.
Here. We have one resolution, R-2450, which you read by Ty Loney. Can I call you the Assistant City Attorney, or what's your official title?
You may call me anything you want, Mayor, just not late for dinner.
Oh, all right.
Resolution number R-24-50, a resolution of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, extending the states of local emergency declared in Resolution R-24-47 and continued in Resolution R-24-48 regarding Hurricane Milton, authorizing municipal officers to continue to take all necessary emergency measures, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, thank you for giving us a bit of your time this afternoon, pulling in for this special City Commission meeting. October 7th, we issued a declaration of local state of emergency through Resolution R-2447. That was in response to Hurricane Milton's approach. That was done pursuant to Chapter 252 of Florida statutes. 252 does limit us that we can only do states of local emergency for a period of 7 days. That ties back, just for a little context, that ties back to COVID. And when that was amended, we had a number of municipalities and counties that were doing states of local emergency to enact regulations and restrictions. And the state legislature at that time was opposed to that. And so you can only do those for 7 days now, and then they automatically expire unless they are renewed by official action. You can't do a 30-day state of local emergency. So that being the case, Monday of last week, October 14th, Resolution R-2448 was approved and adopted by the City Commission, which extended that declaration of local state of emergency through yesterday. And at this time, we are requesting the City Commission consider favorably this Resolution 2450, which will extend the state of local emergency from today through, and it will expire on Monday, October 28th at 11:59 p.m. unless it's further extended as necessary in a 7-day increment. I would say that I don't expect there to be a need to do another extension of this. As I mentioned, we've been blessed with the limited damage that we have encountered in comparison to other jurisdictions within Polk County, and certainly within Hillsborough, Pinellas, Sarasota, Manatee counties, Pasco County. I'm recommending the extension, simply tying it back to giving us some greater latitude in how we tackle any outstanding debris issues that we've not been able to mitigate as of yet, as well as any facility issues that we need to act quickly upon that we have perhaps not discovered yet. I think we've touched every single building, but just having some latitude within that, this gives some freedom there. I would like MJ Carnevale, our Deputy City Manager, just give you a quick brief update on where we stand with debris. That's the biggest thing that's still out there. We are working on some major repairs down at the airport. I think that's where we had probably the most damage there, and then also at our fleet maintenance operations. But on debris, MJ?
So city staff began collecting debris on October 11th. Debris collection site run by the county at Motorpool Road, formally opened on October 16th. If you guys have a chance to ride by there, that is growing quickly. The city, there's about 225,000 cubic yards of debris that's been collected thus far. For perspective, that's about 20,000 dump trucks full. So an awful lot. And we continue to do that. That operation's running 6 days a week with county staff. And then there are private debris haulers under the county contract in the area collecting as well. So moving forward quickly, but it's going to still, there's an ongoing process there.
And just, that's running 6 days a week with city staff?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not county staff. So city staff, our trash masters, we're running and picking up everything we possibly can. Then we're augmented by the assistance of a company called Ashbrit, is who the county contractor is, and then Tetra Tech does that monitoring. The they're making a huge dent in that, but certainly if you drive around, you see we've got a lot more to go. I will tell you, and this is just kind of a precursor for what's on your agenda for tomorrow evening's agenda review and then Monday's meeting, there were 3 new trash masters that were budgeted within our fiscal year 25 budget. We went ahead and pulled the trigger to make that order. That's about a $600,000 plus order for those 3 vehicles, and that will be on your agenda as a ratification item for next Monday. But that's kind of what we're dealing with, and trying to make sure we have the resources that are budgeted, we expedite those as quickly as we can.
I was going to add, we continue to work our normal pattern for debris clearing, which is kind of from the center of the city out, with some exception, trying to get back to some level of normalcy. We had a lot of road paving projects that were planned, so those, we are trying to get the debris off of those roads so the pavers can get back in and continue their work. So that's like the one exception to our normal approach.
Jay, is it gonna be, are you gonna have more than one pass? Because like I'm noticing people are putting out the brush now, and then they wanna put the trees out later. They don't wanna put it all out at one time.
Yeah, we generally assess that as it goes, depending on how big that is. You know, that might be, it might be one big push through, and then we can kind of run it like a heavy brush schedule for a week or two. It just kind of depends on how much of that's out there as we go.
On the unload site, the pickup and unload, is it just a pickup and unload, or are you chipping any of it?
So it's just dropping right now. What has happened in the past is the Ashbrit, the contractor who runs that site, they'll bring in a chipper and chip all of that through Hurricane Ian. They chipped it on site and then hauled the chips and then burned it, I believe, out maybe at Simmers Young, but they burned it locally. They may also haul brush out without chipping it. They did some of that during Ian, where they bring in like a semi, load that semi and pack it down. As all that material dries down, it's a little easier to pack down and then haul it off like that. So it just kind of depends on how they want to run that site and how fast it's filling up.
Commissioner Mercer, there will not be any burning on that site, though, or too close to residential properties, and certainly our fuel storage there at Motor Pool would be a concern.
Okay.
So the state emergency doesn't really have any impact with regards to the statewide emergency?
It does, Commissioner Dawson. So we use a belt and suspenders approach, that the state declaration of emergency certainly covers everybody. The county covers everybody in the county, and then the cities can do their own. We do this just, again, to formally document what we're doing. It makes it much clearer when we're going through our audit process, you know, and they check and see what our secure controls are for how we procure, that we're following our guidelines. It tightens that up even more so for us.
Is there any involvement with FEMA with regards to the city itself?
So the county, Polk County was originally declared for what we call DEX A and B. That's your emergency preparedness activities and your debris management. Anything that you do from the point of declaration, and it varied on those two going forward, we're covered for 90 days, 100% reimbursement costs. Now, that doesn't mean that our solid waste workers who are out picking up garbage, we're getting 100% back on their routine costs. It's all the additional costs that you would incur with that. People that work their regular schedules to do preparation work, we don't get to claim that. It's when they had to do overtime work or something special. We can claim 100% of that cost back. We were just approved, I think either the 16th, was it, MJ? For Polk County, let me just get my note here real quick if you'll bear with me. For DEX C through G, so that's a lot of the restoration work. And your qualification for those as a county is based upon what the total value of damage is. And in order for us to pursue that, we have to register with FEMA. The city as an entity does through the Public Assistance Program. And then we'll have a FEMA representative, a liaison assigned to us, and we begin going through that process of documenting everything. Certainly insurance pays out first on our buildings that were damaged, and then FEMA would come in after that. As far as individual assistance, or what they call IA, that is what you as an individual, I've had damage to my home and I need some assistance with that repair. You would, as an individual, register for that. We have that information, I believe, Katrina, online on the city's website. It's also on the county's website that gives you instructions on how to apply for that. County, there's also a significant amount of information on our website about county support centers. They were doing an insurance village, they called it, over at the RP Funding Center for people they would have representatives from all the various insurance companies to help you navigate claims and the like. They're also setting up a multi-agency response facility at the Stewart Center down in Bartow that is similar, but it folds in programs like the Army Corps of Engineers Blue Roof program and some of those for people that need it. I also want to point out that if you talk to residents in our community and they have a need for emergency repairs, our SHIP program has one of the strategies within SHIP is for emergency repairs. As long as they qualify for that through the traditional SHIP program requirements, Cedric Cox can help them through that process.
With SHIP, there's only one contractor that they're primarily dealing with, or how competitive is that, or is that not, or it was done from the beginning?
So right now, SHIP, when we're doing home repairs, there is a contractor that they're using for that. I don't recall the name off the top of my head, but I can have that for you for tomorrow night. When you're dealing with emergency repairs, certainly that may be things, if I've got a tree that's about to fall on my house, that's going to be a whole different contractor. But we can have Eric and Cedric provide some additional information on that pathway.
You indicated overtime. Are they currently doing overtime? Are you working beyond hours in the evenings to do pickup, or?
Yeah,
I'm
so-
thinking, less traffic and maybe more opportunity,
Yeah, so the way that we do our debris collection, and MJ would be more of the expert on this, but typically we're running our trash trucks 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, doing everything from horticultural waste to picking up, construction debris and white goods that people put out. We're running 6 days a week right now, and we're focusing solely upon the brush debris, the horticulture. So they will run as long as they can in a given day. Under safe light conditions. That's the challenge that we run into when you're running claw trucks or knuckle boom loaders at night. You don't see what's around that pile. You don't necessarily see the overhead power lines, and that's when accidents happen. So we'll be real cautious with that. And they're running on Saturdays as well. So typical, they work a 40-hour work week. They're probably running, I would guesstimate, somewhere between 50 and 60 hours a week as we work through that.
One other piece of that is there are some other of those vehicles within the city. So streets, for instance, they have one that they use when they're taking down a big tree. Those guys, when they finish their shift, they have the opportunity to hop on that truck, run some overtime, and go out and help with that debris cleanup after they've worked their normal day as well. So those opportunities, we're utilizing everything we have available to us to make that happen.
All right, anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve Resolution R-24-50, extending the declaration of a local state of emergency due to Hurricane Milton.
Thank you. Our closed commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this resolution may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, resolution R-2450 is adopted. Is there any further business?
No, sir. Look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow evening for our agenda review workshop at 5:30.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We stand adjourned.